Hello friends, it's Timothy here with JankDiverTim. Oh man, they're waiting on me already. Alright, quick intro. We're going to be doing a Bloomburrow draft here today, best of three. I was hoping to have a little bit more time to talk about it, but I guess I jumped right into the draft. So we're going to be doing Bloomburrow today, a set that's been panned by the masses it seems, but I've got a little bit to say about it. I might have to break this video up into portions though, because I wasn't cautious of the time, and it turns out I don't have a lot of it. Let's talk about the packs first, and then when it starts to slow down, we'll talk about the actual set. I've got actually two really good rares here. I like Ember Heart Challenger, it's in a worse color. I like Valley Quest color, it's in a better color, and I'm going to go ahead and take this. Just a Lord, like a 2-mana 2/3 Lord on a 2-drop is kind of insane, and it also gives you the scry value in one of the better colors as well. I do like Ember Heart Challenger. Blue, we'll talk a little bit about blue here. I actually think Shoreline Looter is the third best card in the pack. In fact, I'm confident it's the third best card in the pack. It might even be better than Ember Heart Challenger. And then there's Long Tusk Brawl is basically the only other card I would consider. Stock in the Pantry is a cool build around. But let's go ahead and start off with just a really good rare here and see where we can take it. It looks like we're going to follow up with a Harvest Right Host. This one is noticeably... Oh, this is a rabbit. I thought this was a mouse. That's fantastic. We just get to go, like, rabbit payoff into, like, best rabbit payoff. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take Harvest Right Host. No consideration for Helga. The Mana Fixin' just is not good enough for a 3-color card, and this one's not even that good. Do like some of the froggy stuff going on here. The rest of the pack is contextual. So let's go ahead and take this bad boy. Talk about the set real quick. The big story coming out of this set, aside from it being on rails, is how bad blue is. And I would contextualize that a little bit. I would say blue has bad commons. This isn't even like a terrible common, but blue mostly has bad commons, but actually has really good uncommons and rares. So I would not hard avoid blue. I would just make sure that you're getting past the sort of stuff that incentivizes you to be in a blue deck. You need to know that it's open. But I am not against drafting blue decks. This does not have a straightforward pick. I could just take Crumb and get it if I wanted to really try to push people off of white, and usually you do want one of these in your white aggressive decks, but third pick, we could probably do a little bit better. There are some good cards. I think Downwind Ambusher is a fantastic card. Obviously, like, if I take this and I end up black-white is supposed to be, quote-unquote, the bat deck, but you don't have to get super caught up on the creature types. Like, yes, if you're in blue-red, you're going to have otter synergies. If you're in green-white, you're going to have rabbit synergies. But, like, you could just have black-white good stuff. Like, yeah, the format's on rails, in the sense that, like, once you're a 2-color pair, there's not a lot of decisions to make. But you don't necessarily have to be, like, black-white bats. Scales of Shell, Roughshod Duo, Sticky Tongue, all good cards as well, but I think this card's above card quality. Alright, and we're seeing a couple black-white cards, and in fact, we're seeing quite a few good black-white cards. Wow. Does this pump bats? It does. Jeez, okay. Well, I would love to see rabbits, but if they're going to give us bats, I don't even know what I take. So there's Star Charter, which cares a lot more about gain in life. If I just end up in black-white, like, generic stuff, that one's not as important. Same with Starseer Mentor. And then there's Banish in Light, which is a good removal spell. People like to talk about how removal's, like, not great in this set, and I think the 3-mana removal spells are a little bit weak. This is a good sign for us regardless. I don't really want to take one of the, like, life gain payoffs because I might not go down that route. And I guess I'd rather, like, spec on this or have this be a spec card and not just immediately say, oh, I'm black-white. That said, we're getting a 5th pick Nocturnal Hunger. Removal's not great, but this is a good removal spell, and 5th pick is about where I'm happy to take it. There's also Mabel's Medal, which is a very good combat trick, one that people don't play around that much because of the existence of Crumb and Get It. So people will play around this one, but this one being uncommon means that they just don't play around it as much. And if you're doing any of the Valiant stuff, this card is incredible. But let's just take the Nocturnal Hunger. This is the 3rd Crumb and Get It I've seen now, so hopefully one of them wheels. Green. I mean, that's a late Hivespine Wolverine, too. I probably shouldn't ignore that. Yeah, if I had more time to think about it and I really saw it early, I might actually have taken that. Here, Stargaze is okay. Usually want one kind of like big refuel spell card. Stargaze is not a high priority. Glide Dive Duo. Found this card underperforms expectation. It is a little nice that it gains life. It obviously gets pumped by this because it's a bat. Doesn't really do anything else for us, but I think I'll take that. I've been super unimpressed by Waxwane Witness. Like if I end up with any bat synergy, life gain synergy, I'll probably play a copy of this card. It's a lot better when it's getting +1/+1, but it's just not a super impressive card. Lily Splash Mentor, and looks like another easy Glide Dive duo. Not that I really want two big 5-drops this early on in the draft, but Pileated Provisioner. I think this is just a worse version of this card. I could see a case for making this, but at least we get some bat synergy going on. We might actually wheel some sort of bat cards. All right, the third one's getting a little bit questionable. I hate these villages. There are some of them that I'm really happy to play, like the red one in a Valiant deck. The black one's decent too, but this one in particular is not even that good. And like these just really mess you up. I have a Banish and Light in my deck. Like this can't cast Banish and Light if it's my only white source. I guess I'll go all Glide Dive duos. What was in our opening pack? We had a double rare pack. The red card's gone. The Shoreline Looter's gone. So somebody at the table is not afraid of drafting blue here. You will get these tables where like straight up nobody drafts blue. I really don't want early winter in my final deck, but we'll take it here. Again, these are decent blue cards. People avoiding blue, but ooh, these are good cards to see late. Scales of Shale, I think, is usually better than Moonrise Cleric. But A, Bat Synergy, good sign. Black-White feels like the place to be. And B, I don't have... Well, I guess I do have Lizards, but they're 5-drop Lizards. All right, Rabbit Response could make the deck here. That was not a bad pack one. It was a good sign. Of course, we opened Dragonhawk. Dragonhawk's an incredible card. I did not get any sense that red was open in that last pack, plus red is not that good, and I have kind of the good shell for a black-white deck, so I think I am going to pass Dragonhawk here, which is a shame because this card just destroys people. I love Hazel's Nocturne. I think this is a fantastic card. There's also Warren Elder if I wanted to just pick up my little 2-drop right now. Get another 2-drop under the belt is probably pretty good. I value Hazel's Nocturne really highly. I don't know where the rest of the world is on it. I'm going to take my first Warren Elder. Just to get another 2-drop going. It's another rabbit for this Harvest Right Host. They just got all the names I can't pronounce. And maybe this comes back. I don't think this card is valued by the masses the same way I value it. But I do know people like this card. Another crack at Hazel's Nocturne. Another Nocturnal Hunger, but I actually think I'm going to take Carrot Cake. Oh, there's a Patchwork banner too. Wow. 4 bats. Why do I... Oh, 3 lizards. Yeah, 3 rabbits. Man, that's a tough pick. So Patchwork Banner, Carrot Cake, and Nocturnal Hunger, all pretty good. And I probably wheel the Nocturne out of one of these 2 packs. I think you just can't go wrong picking up 2s, I don't think. This is really good with the Harvest Right, Rabbit Response, Warren Elder, Quest Caller. That's enough. It also gains life if I end up with any of those cards. I think Carrot Cake is going to push out the rest of these cards. I'm doing okay on the removal with the 2 3-drop like catch-alls, so I don't feel necessarily obligated to take a Nocturnal Hunger. I'm hoping I get one of these 3 cards back. I think I will get one of the Nocturnal Hungers back, or whatever it's called. Okay, Baker's Bane duo. Incredible 2-drop. Doesn't look like it, doesn't read like it, but it is a great 2-drop. I don't think Bandit's talent's very good. People play this against me a lot, and I find it to be, like, not that great. I will go and take Star Charter now, though, and then we'll have to start clocking our life gain, which I think is Carrot Cake plus... Oh, I guess I have a bunch of Glide Dive duos. Carrot Cake, Moonrise Cleric, Glide Dive duo. That's enough for me to take Star Charter. This card's good if you get the first trigger out of it. Hidden Grotto, I wouldn't mind necessarily. I do like having like one of these kind of multicolor fixers in my 2-color decks because the mana is that bad. I don't want another Rabbit Response. Maybe Scales of Shale comes back. At this point, I might play it. Ooh, Starfall Invocation and Intrepid Rabbit. That's actually a really tough pick. I'm not sure which one you're supposed to take here. The thing is, like, this is just such a good proactive card, and it's good with a lot of my stuff. This is a very good defensive card, and can catch you up in games that you otherwise just can't win. Oh man, that's so tough. I think it's actually Intrepid Rabbit. Again, I have Harvest Right Host. I have Rabbit response. I'm trying to do something a little bit aggressive here. I'm playing to the board, so like this, obviously, if I'm ahead, I would rather it be just about anything. Yeah, I'm going to take Intrepid Rabbit over Starfall Invocation. Agate Blade Assassin now. If I get some of those Scales of Shales back, this will be... This will make those a little bit better. It works with my Star Charter. So this does not pump Wizards. No. Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking anything out of the back. Like, again, I don't want this. And Psychic Whirl. Just, no. No thank you on the Psychic Whirl. I don't think I've ever seen this card in play. Like, 20 drafts in, I don't know that I've ever seen this. So, it's 3 mana, 1/3 flying, Death Touch. That's already pretty good. Like, that's enough for me to consider it. And then when you gain or lose life, your bats get +1/+0 and Death Touch only during your turn. Yeah, we'll take that. This is best of 3, where Heirloom Epic can be good. I do like a Fountain Port Bell. I usually like to play my mana base as 16 lands plus a Fountain Port Bell. More good stuff. Feather Flight I think is fine, but a lot of my creatures are already flyers. I think I'm going to take the first Scales of Shale here over another 3-drop. Like, I've just infinite 3-drops. I like a lot of these cards. I could take another Assassin, but I don't want to load up on those. Let's take a Scales. Maybe I shouldn't, because I think I'm going to start getting them back. There's just been so many of them. I don't really care for anything. I really don't like Starforged Sword. Like, I don't really see the appeal of playing this card in pretty much any deck. Maybe if you have Blacksmith talents. Alright, take a Scales. Alright, we got the Nocturnal. We also got the Wax Wane back. If I got this Nocturnal Hunger back, or I keep calling it Nocturnal Hunger, I got this one back. There was one in the pack after it, so I think what I'm going to do here is take Witness and assume that I'm getting the one in the next pack back, which is a bold assumption, but I don't want to. Haha. This is like, I was saying, you want like one kind of way to refuel your hand, like a Stargaze, Dire Sight type card, and I find this to be one of the most effective ones, because it does just have like a little mini Lightning Helix, and we got a Mud Flap for free. Again, this can backfire. I have had these cards backfire quite a bit. Pack 3, opening up some good ones here. We've got Wix Patrol, and we've got Star Seer Mentor, and I'm going to be honest with you, this card pretty much on theme, but Wix Patrol is like easily the pick, and I hate to use this phrase, but it's not even close. Plus, I might just get this back the way this draft has been going. Wix Patrol, 6 mana, 5/3, mill you some, and kill a creature is usually how that plays out. Rat doesn't matter for us for pretty much anything, but just a big creature at the top end that can kill something is nice. Does mean I just do not need Early Winter. You can board in Early Winter against Banish and Light decks, enchantment-based decks, and stuff like that. So I'm going to take Wix Patrol and maybe wheel the Mentor. If not, get the Bonebind back would be nice. And getting past, kind of a dud, almost a dud. Sonar Strike's actually quite good for us. This is just another piece of cheap early interaction, which is nice. Really cool card here for the common good. I think there was one in my last pack, or maybe pack 2 or something like that. Pretty weak card. Cool, but weak. Tree Guard Duo. This card is excellent. I also really love Bramble Guard Captain, though I have not found the red-white Valiant deck to come together that easily. Oh, no, not that one. Let's take the Sonar Strike here. Nice to... Oh, wow, Vine Lasher. No, look at this pack. It's all the cool stuff. I'm going to take Vine Lasher because I think the card's incredible. Builder's Talent. I don't think I'm there on Builder's Talent. This guy can get out of here. Get on my deck. Yeah, it's way too late for Builder's Talent. Like, I might have 1 or 2 things it works with. It really looks like I only have the Carrot Cake. Very cool build around. One of the coolest build arounds for sure. There's also Carrot Cake, Banish and Light. Like, these would both be good picks, but I'm going to take Vine Lasher. Though, you look, if somebody came at me and was like, hey, I think you're supposed to take Carrot Cake here, I wouldn't fight them over it. Oh, another Ambusher, another Nocturnal Hunger. Huh, that's a tough pick, too. I think Ambusher's just fantastic card. There are some matchups where it's pretty bad. It's kind of hard to go wrong with the third Nocturnal Hunger. I think I'm going to take a 3 over a 4 here. Is going to be the breaking point. Maybe not. I think this card's just so much better. Just load up on 4s. Vren. Vren. Can we splash? We just picked up no mana fixin'. Ren's an insane card. This card is ridiculously good. Like, super bomb territory. You just have to be able to cast it. That said, I probably just take Mabel's Metal. I don't think this is pick 5 unless I got like 2 Fountain Port Bells back. I don't see how I'm actually casting Ren. I'll take the good combat trick. Followed by... I don't think I'm token heavy enough to make Tumble, Tangle work, though some people have told me they like the card. Yeah, I don't really see anything for us here. Dagger, I do like a Dagger Fang duo, but I don't think this is the deck for it. I have a Hazel's Nocturne, basically, is the one card that does something with it. Yeah, Wix Patrol kind of, but Wix Patrol feels itself. Alright, I'll take my Hidden Grotto here. Don't mind picking up one of those. We got Hidden Grotto, Fountain Port Bell. That was probably just enough to play Ren. Orator? Or do I want the Fountain Port Bell here? I'm already at playables. This card's pretty mopey. I'll take the Fountain Port Bell. 16 land Fountain Port Bell. Yep, we did in fact get the Starseer Mentor back, which is an okay card. I don't think I want this many 5-drops. I'm going to put that in the board. Banish and Light and Builder's Talent came back. Fountain Port Bell does make the Builder's Talent a little bit more interesting. Hard to go wrong with the Banish and Light, though. Alright, white, I mean, we were in a good spot. The one thing, like, we passed a Starfall Invocation for a common, which is kind of crazy to think about. We do have to do some work on this deck, though. We got a lot of cards. Let's just go through real quick and see, like, if anything straight up doesn't make the cut, like, just anything pretty objectively bad. I think these scales are going to be situational. Board these in against decks where the life gain is going to matter a lot. A lot of 3s. A Waxwing I find is kind of weak. Maybe Rabbit Response isn't really great for this deck. Like, I'm not playing like Head of the Homesteads or anything like that. I got a couple things that put 2 things on board, but that's it. So I'm gonna start with those. If I do this plus that, that's 9 white, 7, 8, 9 black. That's actually pretty good. And then we have to make another cut. My eyes leaning towards Waxwing Witness. Just a 0 utility creature. Like, yeah, sometimes it hits for 3, but that's about it. I should probably cut a 5-drop, though. I just cut one of these glide dive duos and call it a day. Curve's a little bit high. Just a statement. I guess, I mean, I could play Lupin Flower, but then I'm really asking for it with 2 of these villages. I'm already a little skeptical of playing the Mudflat village, but this can get, like, a glide dive duo back. I think it gets a rat, right? Yeah, being able to pick up my Wix Patrol is kind of nice. Okay, black, white. That's what we got going on here. Deck looks solid to me. It's got some pretty decent removal. 3 catch-alls in the 3-drop slot, and then a Sonar Strike. Also Downwind Ambusher. I really don't necessarily need Waxwing Witness. The card just keeps standing out to me as like, can you get this out of your deck? I think it's probably better to play that than to play another 5-drop. Alright, let's try this bad boy out. Let's get into match number 1 here. Alright, Vincent 46. I will be on the play, and I'm going to have to mulligan from the start. Not a bad mulligan, though. That's one thing you'll notice about this set is the mana fixing's so bad that a lot of times, like, you do just mulligan in this set. Like, when I say the mana fixing's bad, I mean the mana fixing is bad. You just get a lot of hands like that where it's like 2 black sources and a bunch of white cards. You don't get that, yeah, you don't get that, like, cycle of 2-color lands that kind of smooths out your mana base. Alright, Baker's Bane Duo is going to do some damage. They're going to take the block. I'm going to go and play a Vine Lasher here. I usually, you'll notice I didn't play this on turn 1. I think you're almost always supposed to play this on turn 3. It just doubles the damage you do later on. And we've got Waxwing next turn. Huh. No attack. I could attack with this. Like, I don't care if I lose this to a combat trick. Sonar Strike's not that big of a deal. I think now is a good time to use the Grotto. I guess now we're just looking to deal our, or find just a bunch of glide dive duos, because we've got 5 mana. Get that out of here, please. Yeah, I'm going to attack the 1/3 in. Like, If they combat trick, they combat trick. They might just also sack the food. Okay, yeah, so just eating the damage and sacking the food's nice. Waxwane is not actually the worst with the Agate Blade Assassin. It'll get +1/+0 if I attack with this. That's assuming I get a chance to attack with it, of course. Opponent at 19, they want undone all my work. But Elder should start pulling its weight here in a couple turns. Okay. Same thing. There aren't a ton of flash creatures. The one thing that would be really annoying here would be the Salvation Swan, right? But if they're just, again, holding up Combat Trick to kill this, I guess that's kind of the same as Salvation Swan. I can start with Fountain Port Bell, though. Fountain Port Bell, sack it, draw a card, and then maybe I draw, like, my Sonar Strike or something like that. Alright, let's start with that. Huh, they didn't get a stick there for... Can't rule out Sonar Strike, though. Alright, we don't want to see more lands here, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going to attack with these two. Let's see if they got something for this assassin. Oh, just get the attack through. This could have been somebody in my draft who got that Starfall Invocation. So it could be that they're just holding on and they're going to Starfall Invocation here, which I just thought about now. Yep, this was the person in my draft. All right. Well, they drew me into something. Hey, wait, what? Oh, they put this back on board, sure. I was like, what? How did that happen? Would I have done anything different? I don't know. Something to know. Something to know for sure. Do got a down one ambusher here. Oh, jeez. Okay. That's rough. So I can kill the token right away. And then they attack with this. And they give it, what, +1/+1? Or they make a 1/1. Making the 1/1 doesn't matter. Ooh. They got past Starfall and they have... Alright, that's not a bad draw. 1, 2, 3... What happens if I attack with Ambusher here? They block. I use the mana to pump it, so they just don't block here. Or they trade War Leader, which I'm okay with. Alright, that works out great. So now I get to just play my hand. And get this War Leader out of here. Starfall Invocation, War and War Leader. Okay, I mean, I've got a good deck, but it looks like my opponent's got better card quality. Almost certainly someone who is in my draft, right? Given the timing on it and everything. Usually if you finish up like a best of 3 draft and you immediately enter into the queues, like one of the first people you'll see is somebody who's in your draft as well. So we've got a Tangle Tumbler. You have to tap 2 tokens to crew this, which they do indeed have. So it's going to make attacking a little bit harder. Be a good time to draw a Nocturnal Hunger. Well, wait, no block. And that Reach doesn't. No, Vigilance. And they have Carrot Cake up. My opponent just has so much life on reserve. Star Charter is a nice one. Alright, let's get this Moonrise Cleric in. I'm not really using my mana efficiently here or anything, but do what we gotta do. Alright, so assuming this lives past my end step, we will dig for a creature with power 3 or less, put it onto your hand. I'll put that one in my hand. Don't mind the video. Okay. So they go up to 10, they make their thing. I'm at 21, I'm at a nice healthy life total. My opponent's still functionally at 13 life though. Despite me just beating them down, they've gained, what, 12 life this game? 2 from this. Or 9 life, perhaps. And they get a scry here. So the hope is my opponent just doesn't play something with reach. Scry to the bottom is what I want to see. Yeah, just don't play something with reach, and then hopefully I can go draw a land, go Harbinger, plus activate Elder. Alright, cycling the Fountain Port Bell. I don't think I got a single Crumb and Get It, despite seeing like 4 or 5 of them in the draft. Which is relevant because it's good against the Starfall Invocation. Alright, if Tangle Tumbler attacks me, I don't particularly care. I mean, I don't not care, but... I mean, they have to tap down multiple blockers. Bushy Bodyguard, sure. Are they going to sack that food? Sacking that food can't be right. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Even if I draw a land, they're not dead. But they did sack the food to make the bigger creature, huh? So then that one's going to forge from the graveyard. Interesting. It's definitely a plan. I could double block this Tangle Tumbler. And just keep my life total healthy and try to kill them with the flyers here. This costs 3 to activate, so they can't do that. So yeah, I mean, one thing I've been, you know, an apologist about for this format, I know people don't like it, but I think the gameplay's just good. I feel like me and my opponents have all had, like, reasonable decisions. I could double block this Tangle Tumbler and try to kill them with these over the course of 2 turns. I would be at 18 this turn, and then it's very unlikely they kill me. I think I am going to do that. Could also just actually block here. Take 6. Go to 15. 16. 6, 10, 13, 14, 15. Are they really going to kill me through multiple blockers? Seems unlikely. Alright, let's do this. Now, if this was somebody in my pod, they probably have a bunch of Crumb and Get It's. Which is something I didn't think about until after this block, which would have made it really bad to block this Tumbler. Alright, yeah, let's see. Yeah, we didn't even have to gift there. Alright, that's not great for me. A Intrepid Rabbit's nice. I can't cast both of these, but what I can do is Harbinger. I mean, they need to top deck something to not die to me next turn, right? So I'll just make the 2 blockers. Yeah, because this costs 4 mana. Alright, let's do this. Just go here. Go here, hit you for 7. Dig with Star Charter. I don't think that one's going to matter that much. Don't actually think this card's great. Just green-white beats from the opponent. So I need them to not have something here. But if these 2 live... Okay, yeah, I was going to say, this makes them lethal regardless of which one lives. Alright, so... Yeah, this looks like the type of match where Scales of Shale actually starts to look pretty good. Trades up, beats combat tricks. Probably just want to go down like 5 drops on the draw. I mean, Star Charter was good that game, but do I really want it here on the draw? I like all of the early game stuff. So I think I am going to go down like a Glide Dive and a Star Charter just because this is such a bad blocker against like green-white curve-out beatdown. I'm going to have to do a lot more blocking, right? And my opponent has like multiple carrot cakes. When they have the board. Okay, yeah, I think Star Charter is coming out. Just try to lower the curve a little bit, have a little bit more interaction. Like, I could even consider Thistledown players here. Over like a Moonstone Harbinger. Yeah, actually, I think I like that. I just like the creatures that block a lot better here. And I don't really care for anything else. Okay. I mean, my opponent's got some really bomby cards to keep an eye out for between Wrath and Big Rabbit. But I think my deck is, like, well positioned to beat kind of the other stuff. This needs to draw a white source, and it needs to draw it quick, but I've got a draw step, a surveil. I think I'm going to keep this. Alright, I'm going to look for white here. Alright, we will keep that on top, though. It does mean I'm not putting a 2-drop down on 2. I have the tools to stabilize against an opponent. Why does everybody... Oh, I think this card has flash. It does not have flash. Alright. I think I'm going to play this on 2, on 3. Going to take some damage in the meantime. See what our opponent drops on board this turn. But it would be very nice to get a creature on board. Opponent's deck is good. Nettle? Sure. Downwind Ambusher is going to be very good against that, but I'm still going to go Cleric here. The attack with Stoat, I can't really block because of, what's it called? Okay, I'm not going to block that. Crumb and get it, but this is confirmation they don't have it. If I were them, I might have even attacked with that Stoat. Alright, Rampager. It's fine. I don't think I'm in a position to attack, so I'm gonna... It's a little bit risky, but they didn't show me a combat trick. Like, they didn't attack with this, which to me means they don't have a good combat trick to get through with. So I'm gonna try to take out both their creatures with this Ambusher here. So start with -1 on the Nettle Guard, and then just block the Rampager. And they could have, of course, drawn something this turn. Alright, so I'm going to put this here, and we'll see. Rabbit response, sure. That's wild to not attack with the Stoat, though. I am at fit 16. Alright. Let's see if they got their dude. So yeah, they now either lose 3, discard a card, sack a permanent, and that happens if I gain or lost life during my turn. Warren Elder's good. Does mean I can not block the 4/4 this turn. This is where these Scales of Shale start to look really good, right? 3 Tree Scribe, sure. This thing has Vigilance too. So I am going to just hold up Scales of Shale here. Yeah, we're just gonna race in here. Like, the Scales of Shale makes it so hard for me to die to anything. And they just keep, what, losing 3? Or sacking a permanent. Ooh. I mean, I guess if they draw the Intrepid Rabbit, it's not that bad. If they draw Starfall Invocation, they just cast it, it's not that bad. Feeling pretty good about my chances here. Rabbit response number 2 might be something to play around. I have a Banish and Light in hand as well. Alright. So if they pump... Okay. Just gonna let them pump there. Could take out the Stoat to stave off the life. Alright, let's let that resolve, and then Scales up my boy. So I basically take no damage. Land in hand, sure. That's pretty good too. So they're at... This deals 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 6, 7. I can't kill them, but I get to just play this out. Attack. Don't think anything saves them. Like even Starfall Invocation. Like, now they have to just, like, what, sack permanents? And take the damage, sure. Kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't there. Okay, we beat a pretty solid green-white deck. That bodes well for us. We got Wrath into a War Leader, so if we can beat that, we can beat anything, right? He says. Alright, game 2, match 2 coming up. This is a lot of the format is playing against, like, green-white, X-green, kind of beat-down, aggressive decks. The key is to make sure you're doing stuff on turn 2, which I know I didn't do that game, but that's okay. This is one of those hands where we're probably actually going to put a land on top with Fountain Port Bell, though if I draw a Plains, I don't have to do that. Very good hand. My opponent's going down land as well, or a card in hand as well. We will go put a Plains on top and pass. Yeah, this hand has a lot of really good tools. Ooh, Emberheart Challenger. This might have also been somebody in our draft. Let's play that. So let's go ahead and play our Warden Elder and pass. Warren Elder, rather. They got a good start. I will block. Could have gotten got by prowess, but they didn't get the stick. They didn't get the stick. Advantage of playing on arena. I think that's always just good enough to keep on top. And we'll play this, and next turn, if it survives, I get to just draw a card. This into this is such a brutal line of play. Alright, Teapot Slinger is a good card. Slings those teapots. I do get to just smash into it, which is nice. Draw a card, attack for 5, 6, 7. Seven, 5 coming in. Red-white aggressive deck from the opponent here. I do like Teapot Slinger. It's a cool card. So if this was somebody in my pod, maybe I pass them the Dragonheart. Starforged Blade, sure. So give me the fish. Attacking for 6. You know what? Oh, it has Menace or something? Lose this. Oh, this thing has Menace. Duh. Alright. I accept. Banish and White is an insane draw there. Just unreasonable draw. I guess I can do this first. Mabel's a metal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Banish and White do one thing here. Alright. The removal spell makes it a lot easier here. Raccoon or Rallier. Honestly, kind of a scary card. Brazen dude's kind of annoying too. I do have Mabel's Metal though. Oh, actually, you know what? Would I rather them see Mabel's Metal or Downwind Ambusher? I think I'm just gonna let them see Mabel's Metal. Sure. And let's just do this so that my guy survives. +2, +1. That should wrap that up. Alright, so I had a kind of incredible draw there against what my opponent was doing. They mulled to 6. Have a pretty good just red-white aggro deck. Emberheart Challenger's nice. I mean, they've even got the Raccoon. It feels like somebody who's in my pod. Like, they played all decent cards, so I think we're going to do the same thing. It's just another situation where my opponent is trying to be on board. So I'm going to cut Glide Dive, I'm going to cut Star Charter, and I'm going to cut the 1/3 Moonstone Harbinger to bring in the 2 Scales of Shale and a 3/3 for 3. And sorry. Excuse me. Do I want early winter? Like, maybe not. I think I need to see like a Banish and Light or a Blacksmith's Talent before I really consider bringing early winter in. Otherwise, 5 mana kill thing's just not going to do it. On the draw with a slow hand, a very slow hand, but again, the type of hand that can just stabilize if I don't immediately die. I'm going to play Grotto on 1, looking for something to do on 2. It's tough to put that on the bottom, but I think I should dig for a 2-drop. See if we get challengered here, or just a Raccoon Rallier. We are getting challengered. Ouch. And I mean, this one doesn't trade the same way that the Warren Elder did. do like this card in conjunction with this card. And I'm just not going to block this time. I'm going to squeak it. Might of the Meek. So taking 4 there. 4 there, cantrip. They played their land first. So they missed the Emberheart Challenger. Oh, they're going in. They're hitting me for 7. They gave me a fish, though. They gave me the fish. Alright, I am gonna not play around a haste creature here. And just take your creature off board. Opponent hit me down to 12 on turn 3, but blew a lot of resources to do it. Doesn't mean they probably just have, like, a lot of ways to wrap things up in hand. Like, they've got to have a pretty decent hand, right? Collector. Excuse me. Alright. If they do have Dragon... my gosh. If they have Dragon Heart, whatever it's called, Dragon Butt, this plus that card is insane, so I would take 8 damage at least on my next turn. So, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. So, I'm just going to go ahead and sorcery speed kill Collector. And attack for 1 and gain my life. They can block. I probably should have, and yeah, actually, they took the 1. They had a free block. I'm tapped out. Alright, let's see. Let's see the dragon. Nope, they're not slamming it. Okay, Roughshod Duo. That's a good one. That's a good ball right there. I'm 100% blocking. You can do whatever you're going to do here because I have the Nocturne. I just have ways to grind through this. I want them to use their removal to, like, try and kill my creatures rather than try and push a bunch of damage. Like, this is just pushing a bunch of damage. I take 4, but I also just, like, they lost their dude, so. Go up to 11, go up to 12. Got good cards in my hand. Feeling alright. Teapot Slinger with haste, maybe? Yeah. Throw those teapots fast. I cannot cast anything with Nocturne, so this is a good Nocturnal Hunger turn. Which, I don't want to give them a food, I don't think. No, I just give them a food. I just give them a food. Oh. Or hold on, wait, let me just kill them. Let me just kill them, alright? Right, like I said at the draft, sometimes this card is just a mini little lightning helix. Alright. Opponent definitely went all in when they didn't necessarily have to, but I applaud it. It didn't work out for them, but there are some starts where that just kills your opponent. Like if your opponent stumbles at all. Nice. I mean, where Black-White is doing really good. I'm showing off a lot of the cards that I said were good, which is nice. So, have not drawn my little Valley Quest Caller or whatever it's called. My little 2/2 Lord that I started the draft out with. Which is a shame, because I would like to draw that card. I would like to draw the best card in my deck if possible. if given the chance. I would also like to ask that last opponent, hey, did you have Dragonhawk in your deck? Were you in my draft? Alright, let's take a breather while we wait on our last opponent. Algon. We're against Algon here. And let's see if we can run it back one more time. Deck is performing quite well. What do you think of the 0-lander with the Fountainport Bell? If I draw a land, though, it's not even good if I draw a land. Oof, this hand's not great either. I think I'll just put one of these glide dives back. I am going to wait on the Grotto for a second. Because I have something to do on 2. The longer I can hold off on putting this on the battlefield, the better. Now I have something I would like to cast on 3, so I'm going to see if I can find a black source. That can go away for sure. Just play 2 mana, 2/2. I do not like my odds with this mulligan. But if I draw a black source, if I draw a swamp and I get to go 2, 3, 4, 5, like that's not bad. We're against blue-red. Blue-red, which people say is the worst archetype in the set, and it is. I know there's 17 lands data out there that says, oh, it's terrible. First off, I don't care about 17 lands that much. I really just don't care what it says. Second off, well, you can build good blue-red decks. You just need to get into the color when it's open, and you need to take the good cards for it. You just don't need to play a bunch of blue commons. I do think there are blue-red builds that are actually quite good, especially when you get all the rares. Alright, they did not give me the treasure, and I did not draw. Now I have no play. I could play Banish Knight. Alright, this has not been a functional draw. So unfortunate. Let's see what you got there, opponent. Let's play something unassuming so I can play this. I do need to draw a land to do that, of course. Kindle Spark. Alright, Kindle Spark's a fine card. Fountain Port Bell's awkward because I need to use it to draw the land here, so it's just using my whole... It's just worse than drawing a land in this situation. Kind of awful. Yeah, but I have to. Alright. I will put a swamp on top. I will draw the swamp, play the swamp, and pass the turn. Kindle Spark adds up damage. If you're not... So the reason people don't like this card is because it's a 1/3 for 3. You can just attack through. But if you don't have any creatures on board, you can't actually do that. I'm not sure if y'all know that or not. Tempest Angler. Okay. Tempest Angler with the activation up here. This is the Spell Gorger weird. It gets bigger when you cast a non-creature spell. Found it to be decent. Attack with the Kindle Spark. Attack is usually worse than just not playing anything. Or attacking with this is worse than just activating it most of the time, because I could have had like a Sonar Strike or something. I am going to pay 4 mana for my 4-drop, pass the turn, and hope my opponent's not sitting on a bunch of Agate Assaults. Because this is rough. This is definitely rough. Like, I can't really block here. I think one of my decent curve out draws with the correct number of lands can definitely beat what I'm seeing from my opponent right now. Yeah, just never in a million years able to block that. Like, a shore up kills my Waxwing. What you got, opponent? Harnesser of Storms. I do like that card. Cast an Otter, an instant or sorcery, exile the top card of your library. Non-creature spell, rather. Still just short a mana to be able to do good things here. Do I want to just Nocturnal Hunger this right away? It's just... It's so bad if I get got by a shore up, right? I just can't afford to let that happen. So I think what I'm going to do here is just attack for 2 and play like Moonstone Harbinger. Opponent's getting priority for their Kindle Spark duo. Yep. They made my creature bigger. Alright, so they're not getting priority for anything then. If that's the case, maybe I just want to take them off of this 2/4. Instead of playing the 1/3. That was like... it's the worst time they could have done that, for sure. Man, even if I draw land at this point, I'm still only playing 1 spell a turn. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get another creature on board, I think, and just pass the turn. Take my beats, take my licks. Go down to 16. These two together can rattle off a ton of damage. They also played their land first, though, which means if Harnesser flips a land... Alright, so sorcery speed, take out the trash, perhaps? Why are they doing that? They think I'm going to block this? I mean, I'm never in a million years blocking it. Take 2. Alright, Otterball Antics, trigger your Harnesser. Alright, they're definitely doing things in weird orders here. They could double Otterball Antics. Like, this just looks like a good deck. Ooh, they're missing that one this turn. That's nice. This just looks like a good deck to me. I don't know what people are like, blue-red's terrible. Just do another Otterball Antics here, probably, right? Yeah. Are they going to activate the Kindle Spark Duo? They did not. So yeah, my opponent's definitely making some notable mistakes. I really need to draw land to try and recoup some of this life. Because now they're doing the otter thing, right? Alright, so I did draw land. Definitely play this. Gain. I get to attack for a decent amount here. 6. Do I want to attack with everything? I think so. Put him down to 9. Only once each turn. Alright, so another Tempest Angler, flipping another Tempest Angler, sweet. Angle that Tempest. Alright, if they attack with... yeah, okay. I mean, I'm just gonna... do some blocks, I guess. I'm gonna block like this. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. A spell is 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. Alright, I'm just gonna block like this. Show me what you got. If they have 2 spells, they kill me, right? Because the Kindle Spark Duo will untap. But I can't play around nothing, and I can't afford to just like straight up not block, I don't think. Don't believe this was +2 +0. I think that does it, right? That looks lethal to me. First strike as well. Gross. Alright, yeah. Very, very lethal, sure. Okay, that was not my match to win, like I said. Unfortunately, with the mana issue there. That said, man, the Scales of Shell just continue to look good. I'm on the play this time. I think I'm just going to make the same general cuts. I feel okay, actually, about my matchup here. Like, I don't even... I guess Star Charger's pretty bad against most of the red removal. Star Charter, rather. This is the type of matchup where the gray or the discard stuff can be good as well. I think I'm just going to run it like this and try to draw appropriate colors and mana. I did have to mulligan that game and didn't really hit the right colors or the curve combination or anything like that. I think a normal curve out for me is what I need to beat Spellsy deck. A bunch of otters aren't that bad if I can, you know, my 3 mana removal against their 3 mana otters is good. If I can find white, this is good. Again, it's slow, but this is a much better hand than it was before. I'm just going to play Grotto and put anything that's not a Plains on the bottom. Carrot Cake. Unfortunately, not a Plains. I do think I throw Carrot Cake away. I need to find white within the next, like, 2 to 3 turns, I guess. I mean, this just... I can't rely on this being my 3-draw play, right? Which is what it would be if I left it on top. Maybe this wasn't a keep. I'm looking at it now. It's pretty dopey. Like, I can't even cast anything on 3 with 3 mana. I need to hit Plains or 3-drop. Alright, my opponent's giving me some leeway, and I drew a pretty good Valley Quest Caller. Something to do on 2. Does die to trash the... take out the trash, but does not die to, Blooming Blast, if that's what they've got. Blooming... whatever. Looks like they've just got to take out the trash, perhaps, though. Ah, they do have a take out... or they have a Blooming Blast that doesn't kill this. What you got, opponent? We've got a Tempest Angler. Okay. Well, I get to actually play the game, which is nice. I'm still looking for that white mana. My only play, really, is the Harvest Host, but it is a good one. Pump that. Scry, yes. Playing things up is great. Alright, alright. I think we're in there. We're in there now. I don't have removal, but I've got just good cards to play. So yeah, Starseer Mentor now starting to look good. I guess I'm not actually gaining life or anything. May just go for Intrepid Rabbit next turn. Intrepid Rabbit draws a card, deals just a huge chunk of damage. Opponent's missing blue mana. Yeah, this just adds 4 damage to the board with a Harvest Right Host. Still probably just pay 5 mana for 5, right? 5 mana for a 5 drop. Alright, Agate Assault's nice. It'll make my host a little bit worse. Worse, I should say. Got something else? They could have a cantrip. That exiled as well for the... Oh, War Squeak. Okay, so they're going to hit me for 5. So now I guess I need to hit removal. Ouch. Let's get out of here. Alright, so I am actually just going to Rabbit this turn, because they made a 5-power creature, so... let's do that. This draws me a card, gets me closer to a removal spell. I think the one removal spell is probably all I need to deal with this Angler here. Scales of Shell is actually really good too. The Warded Elder plus Scales of Shell. Ooh. Alright, remember, we think they have a Bloomin' Blast, right? Which can deal 3 damage to me on top of Growing Angler, so I just gotta watch out that we don't just get completely killed out of nowhere, which can happen. Which can definitely happen. I'm 100% just gonna chump this. Give it trample somehow. It's not a mouse. Okay. Oh, my baby boy is crying in the background. Ah, okay. So, not too bad. I think definitely gonna go this. I'm gonna give this +1, or give him +1/+0. Let's go here, because I'd rather them kill that one. Attack. And do I Scales here? Sure. I think I'm gonna scale. Well, if I Scales this, I deal 6. That's not enough. I'm just gonna say okay. Pass. And then let's see what they do here, because they could go attack. I guess I gotta watch out for the Blooming Blast still. Could be sitting on a bunch of blue cards. I mean, we know about the Blooming Blast, right? We pretty much guarantee it. Hopefully they kill this to get a big attack in. I go Hazel's Nocturne, untap, Scales this, or something like that, right? Blooming Blast there. That's interesting. Actually, I'd rather them do it there. Sure. It's like some sort of double strike trick, I don't know. Put them down to 4. Glide Dive Duo is nice. Can't really attack them effectively, but I could just play Glide Dive Duo this turn. Keep myself at... Oh, actually, you know what? I have a treasure token, so... Yeah, I get to actually do this plus hold up Scales of Shell. And just pass turn. They attack, I chump block with this, attack with this with Scales back up. Should be good enough. I will have to go check on my child here in a moment, but my opponent is definitely not being the speediest player, that's for sure. Which, you know, respect for sure. I am going to block that, so I don't die to some double strike trick I'm not aware of in the format. Whoa, he is angry. Yeah, this shouldn't be taking this long at every single juncture of the turn. Tempest Angler's fine. Alright. Okay. I'll be back in a moment. I gotta check on my child. Okay, back for match 3. My child says he's unhappy with me taking that loss in game 1, so he really wants me to bring the beat down here in game 3 for all the marbles, of course. And again, a good curve out for me with a removal spell. It's not really a curve out, but a Nocturnal Hunger. I think I keep this, looking for something to do with the grotto. kill the first angler or whatever. Nocturne looking pretty bad. Wix Patrol at the top end. It's good if it draws something to do up until this point. It's pretty bad otherwise. And I do think this is a case where we turn one Grotto. Sonar Strike's probably worth just keeping on top. It's not something to do on two, but it will kill most of the creatures my opponent has shown me. At least the first attack. Gotta watch out doing this against the Angler, though. That is a nice draw. That is a fantastic draw. Not only gives me something to do this turn, but also is a bat. Says so on the card. Bat Cleric. Alright, opponent's got both colors of mana. Both players have a functional game here. We got us a Tempest Angler. And I think I am going to... Can I just banish and light that one? No, I should probably use one of the other removal spells. Alright, let's jam. And if they attack and don't pump it, I'm probably just going to not block or not do anything, let it hit me, and then see if they tap out on end step. Ouch. Because this can hit a tapped creature. I just don't want to like fire it off and then be like, haha. Alright, so yeah, this works out okay. I'm gonna just Nocturnal Hunger that thing instead. And I'm not gonna gift the food. Doing okay on my end. Just kind of want to go land. You know what? Not bad. Not the worst thing we could have seen. Gets in 2 extra points of damage. Puts a blocker on board for this Angler. Not bad at all. My draws have been good. That's for sure. I drew a Sonar Strike, which is going to come in handy at some point, into a Rabbit. I drew the Cleric on 3. Definitely cannot say my draws have been bad. I've got a pretty good hand. I would like to just kind of rattle off land here so I can use this stuff and then follow up with Wix Patrol at the end. Wix Patrol into Hazel's Nocturne is like kind of the late game you need to win anything. Okay, we got a Thundertrap Trainer. I do like this card. 2 mana, 1/2, kind of Augur of Bolus. Search 4 cards deep for a non-creature, non-land. Opponent gets a Mind Spiral. Sure. Mind Spiral's okay. Do like a good Mind Spiral. There's the Kindle Spark. Do you attack with your Angler? Not. I also didn't draw a land, but that's okay. I'm gonna go and get in with these two. They double block the Rabbit with Kindle Spark plus Trainer. They're just taking the damage. Alright. I think I'm just gonna play Waxwayne here. I'm at 19. I'm not really afraid of dying. I could take a lot of damage this turn, but even if they go like this, tap down a creature, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just really, I mean, maybe 6 if they attack with the Trainer. It's really not that much. Tapping down the Waxwayne? I guess that makes sense. It just deals more damage to them. This one gains me a life, but... Well, I guess if they tap down this one, then this one doesn't gain the life? I don't know. They could also have other cards in hand. Yeah, alright, so Mind Spiral. Are they going to activate the Kindle Spark? They did not. Opponent's missing out on some Kindle Spark damage there. Still getting priority with the blue mana up. I guess they get priority for this no matter what. So can't roll out a shore up, but okay. Why are we doing that? Okay, so they did go for max damage here, and do I just want to keep my life total as healthy as possible? I think so. I think I'm just winning with my creatures, so. What are we casting here? It does feel like a shore up, doesn't it? Harvest Ray. It would have been great at some point in this game to draw a land. I can't go for the Sonar Strike here, though, because I think they have shore up. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. 7, 8. Alright, I'm gonna attack with these two. My Waxwayne untaps next turn. They could actually, you know what? They could go for Shore Up on defense and it just won't work out for them. Like, if they go Shore Up here to bluff, I can Sonar Strike in response, and it feels like that's what they've got. Which they might do here because they're a 9. Do need them to make the decision, though. I'm being a little rude here. I got my kid woke up a little bit upset, but you know, it's not Algon's fault if they're really thinking about the game. Obviously, they're a little bit new, right? The way they're playing with this Kindle Spark suggests that. So I got to cut them a little bit of slack. But at the same time, like, you probably have one card in your hand that you can make a decision with, and the decision is like, do I use it / do I not use it? Like, there are trees you can go down to kind of like narrow this down without taking a super long time, but at the same time I can't see their hand, so anyway, that's why I'm being a little bit impatient. My voice is starting to fade as well, so I'm like, all right, let's just get this wrapped up and done with. All right, they timed out, and I think just play it safe. I mean, my opponent timed out there, which means that they couldn't respond to something, so that would have been a good time for me to banish and light the Angler, but that feels kind of cheesy to take advantage of like a disconnect or anything if that's what happened. Is there a way I die this turn? Maybe. Like 3 1-mana spells into the mass +2/+0 effect? Perhaps. I do have 2 cards in hand that gain me life, so it feels a little hard. Plus, I've got the fish, which is just going to go jump in front of this Angler. Also looks like my opponent might just be gone. Which that would be a pretty anticlimactic way to end this game, but hey, if we get a 3-0 off of it, we take those. There are no stakes here. I don't feel that bad. What do I think of my opponent's blue-red deck? I think it's a solid blue-red deck. It seems very thematic. Usually the reason you end up in blue or blue-red... Yeah, my opponent just doesn't... They just disappeared. It's unfortunate. So we're going to attack them. Actually, I think they blow up here. But yeah, my opponent's deck looks good with the exception of, like, blue-red can't really have filler in it. Like, yes, I think blue-red is better than people give it credit for, but I still think it's, like, not an amazing deck. I just think it's something that people should have in their back pocket. But you can't get in the blue-red for, like, a bunch of these. Like, that can't be the reason you move in the blue-red. The reason you move in the blue-red is because you took a couple early red removal spells, and then you saw this, like, 6th, 7th, 8th pick, or it wheeled, which the blue rares do, because nobody wants to be in blue. So you identify blue's open, you move into it, and then you just end up, like, snapping up every single blue rare in the pod, which happens a lot, so... Sorry, opponent. Don't know if you timed out or disappeared or what, but... I'll take my little 3-0 with black-white bats, question mark? Rabbit bats? Go look at the deck here real quick. I mean, I was hoping to talk a little bit more about Bloomburrow, but these matches were kind of tight and everything, so... As far as this deck went, I think it was just rock solid. I think this was an above-average deck. It didn't have bombs, but it did have a really strong rare, like maybe a B plus A minus tier rare, which is just good. This is another one that's not like optimized in my deck. Had good removal creatures, like the ambushers lined up well. I also drew well. Like, let's not discount the fact that I drew well. Like, I hit some 2s on 2 and some 3s on 3 when I needed to. But the card quality here is just really strong as well. I've got 3 catch-all removal spells, which you don't need to overload your deck with a bunch of removal. I know technically Ambusher plus Wix Patrol are additional removal spells, but you just don't need to be the person who takes like every single Nocturnal Hunger, because you can leverage a lot of combat tricks and a lot of other things to get ahead of your opponent without just like 1-for-1 in their creatures. So I think this deck was sweet. This is kind of like, I don't know, indicative of how I like to draft the format, so that's nice. I do, however, need to take the screenshot for the Discord, which I didn't get to plug at the beginning, so we'll go ahead and do that now while I'm taking a little screenshot here. Yeah, if you are a drafter, if you want to share your trophy decks, or if you want advice from myself and a bunch of other people who are limited junkies on how to build your decks and how to draft, or maybe you just want somebody to piggyback and watch you stream, give you advice. JankDiverTim Discord is the place to do that. We have a bunch of people who just love drafting limited. Even sets like this that people claim they don't like, they're still just drafting it nonstop. So it's a good place to just come hang out. JankDiverTim Discord. Obviously, we're a cube-related community, so we do a lot of cube events, but we've also got our limited junkies there. So find that link wherever you are listening to this or watching this, and then come join us for our cube events as well. So Bloomburrow, I was hoping to get a couple extra thoughts in here. We also just played against like 2 different kinds of decks, and my last round opponent timed out. So I'm not sure how much like strategic advice I could give you about the format, but at the very least I can show you some gameplay, some things to be thinking about with like the combat tricks especially. There was a point in time where like playing around Crumb and Get It was like really important in one of those games. Things like that. Scales of Shale is very similar. Shore Up is very similar. There's a lot of stuff like that, and I could go on a little bit more. So maybe I'll try to find the time to do another Bloomburrow draft and record it, because I just don't get the time to do this anymore. And hey, if that's something you want to see, like, let me know in the comments. Let me know it's worth my time to just carve out a little bit of my schedule to do more of these, because I love recording these drafts. I love the commentary. I love seeing my opponent's decks and stuff like that, but I just don't have the time to do it. So let me know if that's something that interests you, and I'll find the time to do it. All right, enough rambling. I've lost my voice. My child's upset at me. I've redeemed myself with the 3-0, though, with the black-white bat. So that's going to do it. My name is Timothy with JankDiverTim. I'll see y'all next time.